Is that a go?
I think so.
Okay, I would love to propose a toast to our good fortune for being human, healthy, happy right here at the Doc Watson Tribute. Brian Sutton and the Friday Gang.
Since she's gone, she's solid gone. Here's Jerry Douglas. Taking her away, oh God, and it ain't gonna bring her back home. Yeah, she's gone, she's solid gone. Oh Lord, I love that woman, but she's gone, and I know I'm gonna miss her since she's gone. She's solid gone. Think about it, Sam. Got any Doc Watson fans in the park today? Here's a great old fiddle tune that Doc recorded on a record. He came to Nashville and recorded with a bunch of the hot shot session guys. And he showed him a thing or two about bringing some classic old fiddle tunes. And he whipped them into shape. And this is one called the June Apple. We're here today to pay tribute to a great musician, a great guy, Doc Watson. I put together a little sort of prehistory of Doc for those of you that might not know. Doc is not his given name. He was named Arthel Lane Watson. And he was born March 3rd, 1923, Sam. And his parents, his mother was Annie Watson, his dad had this cool name. His name was General Watson. Doc wasn't born blind. He had a defect in his eyes that prevented some blood flow. And then an infection caused from that actually caused blindness when he was just almost 1 year old. Yeah, he had interesting memories about that, if you can imagine. He had an incredible mind. It says he remembers the color green. And I don't really put it past him because Doc, it's amazing what Doc could do in spite of his handicap. One of the things that was important about General Watson, his dad, was that he instilled in Doc this incredible confidence and taught Doc to use tools. When he was a kid, told Doc he could do anything he wanted to do, and of course, Doc, he did that. There's stories, Doc rewired his whole house as an adult. It's true. Doc built a whole utility shed with a miter box and a handsaw. And he grew up in a great part of North Carolina around Deep Gap, which is up in Boone in the the northwest corner of North Carolina, just below Virginia. And it's a great area for fiddlers and old-time music. He was quote-unquote discovered by this guy, Ralph Rensler, that came down to Deep Gap. He'd heard some fiddlers down there. They said, well, you ought to go check out this guitar player named Doc Watson. And he did. Doc didn't want to play, actually. I didn't want to play acoustic. Doc had been playing in a rockabilly band, played electric guitar. And that was actually his first love back then, was playing honky-tonk. He loved Hank Garland, Grady Martin. And but Ralph Rensler convinced him to play some acoustic guitar, play some banjo, and recorded him. And that's kind of how all of us got to know Doc, was through Ralph Rensler's management through those years, and made records on Doc's and put him in shows, put him in Gertie's Folk City, and all those great records were made. So. But one of the first things that Doc played for Ralph, when Ralph first met Doc back in 1960, was this tune here. It's called the Cuckoo, and this was a tune that Doc did as a kid. It has a cool little intro here. It goes like this. Cabin on a mountain so high. pretty bird, and she warbles, and she flies, and she'll never holler cuckoo till the 4th day of July. Well, there's one thing that's been a puzzle since the day that time began. A man's love for his woman, and his sweet love for her man. All right. Doc was a great entertainer. He knew how to take songs, kind of make his own sort of version of them. He would, to make a current political reference with the Occupy Wall Street movement of late, he would docupy songs. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know. Anyway, Doc would spend a lot of time obviously listening to the radio. He listened to, he had a real souped up system evidently. He could get stations out of Texas and Florida and Chicago, New York, and the Grand Ole Opry. And back in 1939 there was this group on the Grand Ole Opry that did this song, and Doc took it, made it his own. It's called "Give Me Back My 15 Cents," and it's a good old number about a guy that meets a girl, falls in love with a girl, they get married, and then he meets his mother-in-law, and then he wants his money back. You know that one? Howdy, Miss Lynn. This song's "Give Me Back My 15 Cents." That fatal knot, and now I'm gone forever. Give me back my 15 cents, give me back my money, give me back my 15 cents, and I'll go home to Mammy. Tell us about it, Sam. For the preacher man and $1 for the paper. Then dear old mother-in-law moved in, and Lordy, what a caper. Well, I picked a tune for her one day, and she called me a joker. And that old Sal got mad at me, and she hit me with a poker. Give me back my 15 cents, give me back my money, give me back my 15 cents, and I'll go home to Mammy. Look below. me that somebody ought to shoot 'em. Well, I'm tired of looking at my mother-in-law, and I'd like to see my granny. I'm gonna leave the state of Arkansas and go back home to Mammy. Give me back my 15 cents, give me back my money. Give me back my 15 cents and I'll go home to Mammy. Give me back my money. Give me back my 15 cents and I'll go home to Mammy. Alrighty.
15 cents, not investment.
Yeah.
That was worth 1 billion back then.
Sure.
1.5 billion.
Got to watch that inflation. When did you first meet Doc Watson, Sam?
Met Doc and Merle probably 1974 at the, I met him in 1973, but at the Winfield, Kansas Flat Picking Festival. And I was in the band Bluegrass Revival, and then we played there in 74 and struck up a nice acquaintance with Doc and Merle, and we were at the start of a trip that would take us about 14 or 15 jobs in a row, where we started in Winfield, went out through Colorado, down on to California, from southern all the way to northern California. Back then, Doc had his band called, Merle had a band called Frosty Morn. So it was Doc and Merle and Frosty Morn and the Newgrass Boys, and we became pals, and it led to Courtney Johnson and I getting to record on the Doc record. One of his, well, I like to think it's one of his great ones. Of course, I got to play on it. But it was a double set record that tried to run the span of Doc's, all his influences and things that he had played in his career. It's called Memories. And so it was, and that kind of led to me getting to go on the road with Doc and Merle sometimes, and Merle would call me, and so it would be Doc and Merle and T. Michael Coleman on the bass, and I would play the mandolin and the fiddle. And a lot of times Merle actually didn't go. He didn't enjoy going on the road as much as Doc did, and so sometimes I would sort of play the part of Merle, which were some big shoes to fill. And one thing that Merle and Michael liked about when I would play on the road with them is that when I was a boy, I did play with a blind guitar player, and he liked to be led the same way that Doc liked to be led, which was Doc would get behind you about one step and put one hand in your arm, and that way he would know if you are about to go down steps, he'd feel you go down the steps, and if you're going up, he'd go up, and knowing when stops come. And so Michael and Merle liked it because they, could have me lead Doc, and of course for me it was like a very honored position to be trusted with Doc on my arm. And everything went real well till one day in the Atlanta airport. I don't know if you've ever been in the Atlanta airport, but at the time, never seen escalators so high. They were just maybe 3 stories high. And so we were on one morning. This is not to comment on how high I was at the time, but for whatever reason, before we got to the top of the escalator, Doc had relaxed his grip. And we got to the top, and I just walked off. Well, right beside of the escalator were these about 3.5, 4 foot big trash cans with metal dome tops with the swinging door. And so Doc kind of came off and took a slight right, and all I heard was the most horrendous crash I'd ever heard behind me. And before I could even turn around, Doc yelled up, "Sam, better get back here before I kill myself." Yet he let me do it again after that. He's a very, very nice gentleman. But, yes, the Doc lived to tell about it. But this next song Brian's going to sing was, in fact, on that Doc Watson Memories album.
Sure. How many of you guys ever got to see Doc live out there in the crowd? it was always a great thing to see him. He would always, as a, you know, in addition to just a great entertaining show, you know, he just seemed to, just by him being there, impart some amount of wisdom onto the crowd and any of us kind of sitting on the side of the stage watching. This is how you do it. This is how you live your life. This is how you go at it. And kept a lot of his emotions kind of hidden from a lot of people. But when he got on stage, it was, you know, he knew it was him and his audience, and he kept things so informal. And you felt like you knew who Doc was, and that was a great thing that he was able to do, is kind of bring the front porch of Deep Gap kind of all over the world. And another one of the things that was really special to him was his wife, Rosa Lee Watson. And he always talked about her a lot. And this is a song, it was on that record, the Memories record. And Doc's comment about this was that this was the song that he used to court Rosa Lee Watson. At the time, she was Rosa Lee Carlton, who was the daughter of a fiddler named Gaither Carlton that Doc played with. So it's in D minor, which you don't normally put love songs in D minor. But it's Deep Gap, North Carolina. Here's the Shady Grove. Cheeks as red as a woman rose, eyes the prettiest brown. She's a darling of my heart, sweetest little critter in town. Well, I wish I had a glass of wine and a bread and meat for two, and I'd set it out on a golden plate and I'd give it all to you. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. A little bitty boy, I wanted a barlow knife, and now I want little Shady Grove to say she'll be my wife. And I kiss for pretty little Shady Grove as sweet as brandy wine, and there ain't no girl in this whole wide world that's prettier than mine. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Here, Lukey. In the summertime and apples in the fall. If I could have little Shady Grove, I don't want none at all. Well, I went to see my little Shady Grove, and she was standing in the door with shoes and stockings in her hand and her little bare feet on the floor. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove to stay at home and to feed him while I'm gone. And I wish I had me a needle and a thread and as fine as I can sew. And I should have done is turn my hat and down the road we go. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Red as a blooming rose and eyes of the prettiest brown. She's the darling or two. I set it out on a golden plate and I'd give it all to you. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. That's a great, great song. When did you meet Doc Watson there, Jerry Douglas?
Wow, I must have met a little bit after Sam, but I remember Merle and Doc and T. Michael traveling around the country, and I was in several different bands, played with Doc, but Doc and I did a 501 Jeans commercial once together. And I'd never been in the position of leading a blind man, and I should have called Sam first. But I made the mistake, and I picked Doc up at the airport, and I said, "Anything you want, Doc?" And he said, "I want a cheeseburger." I said, "Well, I'll take you where the best cheeseburger in town is. It's a bar, though, okay? So I'll take you in the part of the bar where no one smokes, because Doc didn't like smoking. He didn't like cigarette smoke." And so we, well, yeah, he was ahead of his time. But, so we went to a place called Brown's Diner in Nashville, which, yeah, I'm sure you've been there, right. But we had a good time, and Doc got that thing all over him. We got him all cleaned up, got back to the studio. It was a good cheeseburger, and everyone, you know, you eat those things. The cheeseburgers at Brown's, everyone got them all over them. It wasn't just Doc. But we did the 501's Jeans commercial, and it did play for a little while. And you know, bought several Amana freezers and things like that. I'm sure Doc built another house or something, utility shed. But that was one of the coolest things I've ever been able to do in my life, was to be able to have a treasure like that, be in charge of something like that. And it's kind of a scary thing, but I'm glad I got to do it that one time. And I got to work on a lot of records with Doc Watson, and actually he asked me to produce a record for him one time, which we never got to do. And it was another record like Memories he wanted to do, where he did all old country songs, but he didn't want to do anything anything newer than 1965. So I had to do a little research. And we never got around to making the record, and I wish we had, but I'm going to miss Doc. That's I guess all I got to say about that.
Doc Watson could do a train song. He knew what to do with that. Here's a great one that he did. It's "Train to Carry My Girl from Town." Remember this one, Sam? Hey. Take my jelly.